Hello, friends. Hello, friends near and far, dear to my heart. I'm Victoria with Aligned Soul Tarot. Welcome to this live Pluto Direct reading. I'm going to give people a second to join. We're going to talk about Pluto, right? We're going to talk about what the energy of Pluto is. What does it mean now that it's going direct, right? October 10th. And then I'm also going to be breaking down what it means for each zodiac sign. So welcome on in. You can always drop a comment. I can be interactive with you here live, so feel free to comment away. I'm going to let people kind of gather in here. We're going to be starting the astro chat right first, and then I'll be going into the all signs portion. Okay, so for the playback, if you can't watch the live, just know that you can watch us on my channel at a later time. All right, so I highly suggest for all signs to go watch your October readings because there's a lot to unpack this month, right? The Pluto Direct is one of the many themes for this month. But I did feel really compelled to kind of navigate this energy and talk to you about it because I find it very influential, and I also find it highly important given what we are entering into. Pluto energy is very transformative, right? It is all about death, destruction, right? In the major arcana, Pluto energy represents the death card and also the judgment card. So it's about radical change, radical acceptance, right? And it can feel kind of like a smack to the face. But we're being asked at this time, now more than ever, to be very observant, to be very discerning, to tap into all those spaces within us, right? Pluto governs and rules the eighth house. And if you watch my general readings, if I've spoken to you about the eighth house, it's one of my favorite houses. So that was another reason why I felt like I really wanted to do this reading on Pluto. So the eighth house can talk about a lot of different things, right? But what I find the most compelling about the eighth house is, our kinks, right? What drives us, what motivates us below the surface. It's a lot about how we are when no one's around, or what's going on internally, right? And what some people might not even know about us. Has a lot to do with sex, right? The eighth house is scorpionic energy, right? Pluto is the scorpionic energy. It's all about sex and intimacy, right? Intimacy can be such a vulnerable place, like true, authentic intimacy. Psychology, right? Magic can be a very secretive house, right? Because it is a lot about the subconscious realms. So we're going to be diving into these subconscious realms and what's coming up to the surface right now that Pluto's going direct. It is kind of like this epiphany, light bulb moment, right? Movement is really what I'm feeling. With any sort of planet that's been retrograde, it serves its purpose, right? Because it is about slowing down so we can feel into that tension. So we know what's going on, because if we're always moving and we're constantly shifting and making decisions as we do when planets are direct, right? And you can make decisions when planets are retrograde, but it is a chance to observe, right? Question things. Again, with the Pluto retrograde that we've been in the last several months, it's about what's been festering below the surface for you, right? Where do you feel tension, right? What's bubbling up for you? And now that Pluto is going direct, again, there's this movement. There's like a reason to change, right? Because it's something that you've been witnessing and feeling within you for quite some time, okay? So movement, innovation, sudden light bulb moments. And it honestly might be sudden to others. But again, this 8th house is very internal. So most of you will know, right, at a deep subconscious level, at a very private level, that it's not so sudden, right? These changes aren't that sudden. These are things that you've probably been feeling for quite some time, okay? And I've been talking to the collective about eclipse season too. There's all these like shocking revelations and sudden epiphanies, but really, again, I feel like most people on the spiritual path that are aligning to the spiritual path, right, and understanding these karmic cycles, it can feel overwhelming, but it really does depend on where you're at on your journey, right? So just know that these might be sudden changes. These might be changes that you've been feeling for quite some time, like the levee's finally breaking, things are finally changing for you. And Pluto going direct is going to assist you in many arenas. So let's get down to it, okay? So Pluto going direct, I wrote some notes here. And one thing that I see on my paper that's standing out is do the work, right? Do the hard work, because Pluto energy is the nitty gritty, right below the surface, has a lot to do with the subconscious realms, the human psyche. And that can be a very interesting place, right? So think of Pluto. It's the furthest planet, right? Quote unquote planet. It hasn't even always been perceived as a planet, right? And it's the furthest from us. So just in that, right, it's a very isolated place. So think of all like the feelings, the thoughts, the sensations that you have when no one is looking, right? When no one is looking, and that can be good, bad, ugly, right? That's that Plutonic energy. That's the 8th house. And we're being asked without judgment, right? Without judgment, because we're all human and we all have feelings, thoughts, and emotions that sometimes we ourselves don't want to face, right? But they're there. And usually when something is kind of festering, right? Again, that buildup, that tension that we've been feeling with Pluto retrograde, it's wanting to be witnessed. It's wanting to be seen for a reason. So there's a reason why there might be this dwelling sensation that's going on, this nagging sensation that's below the surface, okay? And no matter how pretty of a picture we want to put on to the world, right? That's our ego. It serves a purpose, right? Self-preservation, security, safety. No matter how much the ego wants to control or coerce or manipulate us to think a certain way, this Plutonic energy is asking us to, of course, observe the ego, because it's a part of our human psyche, right? We can't dismiss the ego. It's very much innately a part of us. But we need to be able to move beyond it, right? We need to be able to observe all of it, because it all is a part of who you are, right? The good, the bad, the ugly. And to innovate ourselves, right? Get out of our own way. And that can be very challenging, especially when we have certain belief systems, structures, culture that tells us otherwise, okay? And Plutonic energy is here to move that energy, right? To change, to destroy the structures, right? It's this Tower card energy, right? I've been feeling that for the collective for eclipse season as well. The Scorpionic energy, right? Which we did talk about earlier. The Death card and Judgment are also very tied to Plutonic energy, okay? The 8th house, which is, again, Pluto energy. You're going to hear me talk about them simultaneously. Again, it's this instinctual, sexual, primalistic nature, right? Again, the things that we might shy away from because we're afraid to scare people, right? And I'm not just telling you to go like blabber to your mom or your dad about, your deepest desires, right? Of course, these are shared spaces with trusted people, right? We are actually being called into building those trusted support systems, to be more vulnerable with people, to foster those kinds of relationships that allow us to be our authentic selves. And that might be even like a therapist, right? But we are being asked to confront it. And now that Pluto is going direct, there is this movement, okay? There is this confrontation. And it might feel a bit confrontational if you haven't, again, been doing that work or listening to what is really going on internally, okay? I wrote down this beautiful note here. We can only be close with ourselves as we are close. We can only be close with others as we are close with ourselves. Okay. So just think about that. I'm going to say it again because I feel like it's very powerful. We can only be close with others as we are close with ourselves. Okay. So let's build those relationships. Let's foster those relationships. And it's not just on the interpersonal, right, micro level, right, in your personal lives. We're seeing this globally, right, this exposure. We're seeing the unraveling again of systems, structures, beliefs, right, outdated belief systems, our society, our cultures. It's this exposure. And it can feel like a smack in the face. It can feel very intense, but we, again, are needing to observe it. We're needing to face it, okay? The only way out is through. It's another beautiful quote that I love, and I feel like it's very connected to the times we are in right now. Right, these perceived flaws or weaknesses, right, with this eighth house energy, it's really truly, it's authentic, it's ourselves, it's all a part of who we are. Okay, like integrating the shadow is what I'm hearing, allowing all parts of you to be integrated as whole, as holy, and as complete. It's not easy work, right? It's not an easy task. All of this is not like an overnight job, right? And we're going to be approaching this as Pluto goes direct. And again, eclipse season is a 1.5-year cycle. So I've been talking about this in my October readings, that this is a very intentional month, right? October is about casting out those intentions. Again, observing, witnessing it all, trying not to judge ourselves too harshly, and really truly listening and observing what's going on, especially within. All those places that feel stuck, right, or stagnant, with this Pluto energy going direct, I do sense that there's going to be some shakeup. There's going to be some movement. All right. Let's get into the all signs reading. So I'm going to move through all 12 signs, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the astrology. I'll also be diving more into this, and we'll be checking in for the mid-October readings. So just know that. And again, if you can't catch me for the live, then you can always watch the playback. So we're going to get into Aries first. Aries. All right, Aries. What does this Pluto energy have for you, right? Pluto going direct. It's going to be in your 10th house, which, if you know, it's about your career, right? It's a lot around your purpose. It's the midheaven, right? It sits at the top of our chart. It's where we are being guided towards as we evolve. It's usually, me as an astrologer, I think the 10th house has the most influence over us after our Saturn return, which is around 28, 29 years old. And then as we get into our 30s, we connect deeper to our 10th house, okay? But again, if you are not even at your Saturn return, and you're watching this video, just know that these messages can still ring very true for you. So Aries, there could be this intensity and drive and motivation to maybe change your career. But there is some focus, again, this forward movement with Pluto going direct on your career. And the one thing that I wrote down in my notes for you, Aries, is I really want you to think about what makes a good leader. Because when I think of the 10th house, I think of very independent energy. And that is very much you, right? Aries energy. It's the first of the zodiac. And I've talked about this in a couple other lives that I did, this Aries North Node energy that we are currently in. And given that, Aries, you're definitely feeling that, right? So I want you to think about what makes a good leader, right? And how can you be a good leader? How can you be a good role model? How can you show up for the people around you, especially amongst your, your purpose, your career? All right, Aries, let's pull some cards for you. This is going to be for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus signs. Aries. All right, Aries, let's see what we have for you for this Pluto direct energy. What is it that Aries needs to know? What is it that Aries needs to see? All right. We have the Page of Cups here. What else for Aries? What do they need to know? What do they need to see at this time? Beautiful. Okay, we're going to take 2 cards and I'm going to pull some oracles for you as well. So, Page of Cups and Ace of Pentacles upright. The Ace of Pentacles is reminding me of that 10th house influence for you, Aries, because Pentacle energy is very much about like the physical 3D world, money, right? Tangible things, material things. And that 10th house is a very productive house. It is where we, again, might be making money. Oh, hopefully, I talked about this with, I forget what sign, but I talked about bridging the gap between like your hobby. What do you feel like your soul's purpose is? Because sometimes your soul's purpose might not be in alignment with your career. And that could be at the forefront for you. It's like how to bridge the gap. And I can't remember or recall which sign had that message. But it wasn't you, Aries. So there's someone else in the collective that's going through a shared experience with you. But nonetheless, Aries, you have this Ace of Pentacles. This is a stable, new idea, offer, right? I do feel like, again, with that 10th house influence, you could get some really great opportunities. You could feel like you're finally gaining some momentum in your career, especially next to the Page of Cups, right? And this is what I was talking about, is like bridging the gap between your purpose, like your hobbies, your creative endeavors, and how can you bridge that gap, right? How can you bring that into your career and how you make money, right? Being emotionally fulfilled, right, in that 10th house. Because that is a struggle for a lot of people, right? Where we might take on work just for the money, right? For the sake of practical reasons. But it's looking like for you, Aries, you're being urged with this Pluto going direct to connect in with your heart space. Page of Cups. This person's heart is opening. Feeling like a sense of connection with the people you surround yourself with during this time. It's going to be very helpful to have, again, support. You also could be very highly attracted to people that are very driven, that are very motivated, that are very heart-centered, right? Very passionate people. Let's actually pull an oracle for you. Aries. Aries, what does this Plutonic energy have for you, Aries? Aries, what does this Plutonic energy have for you at this time? Pluto going direct, what do we have for the Aries collective? Oh. There it is. Surrender. Discipline. Okay, discipline's on the bottom here, so it's going to take a level of discipline, right? Of course. To, again, connected with your purpose, to maybe bridge that gap we were talking about. Surrender. Woo. Very much this Plutonic energy right now. I actually wrote that down here in my notes. With the 8th house, I was writing in my notes here, to dwell in the 8th house. You need to be willing to surrender control. Surrender control, Aries. I can release my need to control, it says here, which is very beautiful. So you can allow, release that pride too. I'm seeing pride here. Don't be too prideful, right? I feel like there could be people around you that really can actually be very beneficial to you, but you also have to be willing to let others in to help and assist in other maybe ways that you can't, right? Like seeing other people's strengths is what I'm hearing, and not feeling like you have to do it all yourself. All right, we're going to move on to Taurus. Taurus, what does this Pluto direct have for you, Taurus? Let's see. Pluto direct for Taurus. It's going to be in your 9th house. So the one thing I'm thinking for you, Taurus, it's going to be very significant is that 9th house influence is moving out of outdated beliefs, right? Because the 9th house is about our beliefs. And it also can be about connecting in more with your spiritual nature. Maybe even studying and learning about the laws of attraction, manifestation, right? Quantum physics is what I'm hearing for you. The 9th house is a very expansive house. Could be about traveling, learning about different cultures. You might be really feeling the urge to travel at this time. And with Pluto going direct again, I do see movement for you, Taurus. What I'm hearing for you, Taurus, is also with like getting out of some maybe outdated belief systems that you might be holding on to and expanding your mind, right? With this 9th house energy, this 9th house influence is not trying to necessarily convert others to believe, right, what you believe. Again, holding it true to you, but also being empathetic to others, learning from others. The 9th house is also about spiritual mentorship, teachers, maybe training of some sort for you. Deepening your skill set, deepening your knowledge. Again, being a student to life. Being curious with that 9th house influence. All right, Taurus, let's pull some cards for you. Let's see. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus signs for this Pluto direct. What is it that they need to know? What is it that they need to see at this time? Taurus. Taurus. Okay. Beautiful. All right, we have the 4 of Cups on the bottom of the deck here in reverse. What's interesting is I actually was just thinking about this energy today, actually. I've always kind of been, what's the word with this energy? The 4 of Cups is not my favorite card. There's always been something, whenever I pull this card, I just get this sticky feeling, right? Normally what this card talks about is like missed opportunities, complacency, feeling bored, maybe, again, like the grass is greener, the grass wasn't greener kind of thing. It also is like my victimized mentality card, like someone that's playing the victim. But I have to say, with this in reverse, the message that I recently heard from another reader that I really actually liked is it's an opportunity, right? Because you see this outstretched opportunity. This is the Ace of Cups here, right? And there's 3 cups that are spilt here. So this person's kind of focusing and festering on those spilt cups. It's kind of like the 5 of Cups. But with the 4 of Cups, there is this opportunity here, right? And really, again, being observant, being open to new opportunities, right? Because there is a lot of potential in the 4 of Cups, but you have to be willing to see it, right? We have the Queen of Cups here with the Page of Pentacles. Sorry, I was just looking at a comment there. Queen of Cups with the Page of Pentacles. Again, being open. There's a lot of this water energy for you, Taurus. You might be dealing with a water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy here. But there's that cup here. You see the cup that's below? The cup is here in front of her. Being open, being receptive to this opportunity, because I do feel like there is a lot of new opportunities here for you. A lot of fresh energy that's coming in. You have to get out of this like stagnant energy. And I do feel like with Pluto going direct, it's essential. And it's almost inevitable. But we can always kind of have this movement with the planet going direct, and then we can kind of fall trap to the same ways of being, right? The same outdated beliefs, the way that we've always maybe been or always attracted, maybe the same kind of energy. But the 4 of Cups, you can easily get out of this energy, right? The opportunity is there. Page of Pentacles. The opportunity is there for you to deepen your love, right? To find your passion. I do see a lot of inspiration for you, Taurus, during this time. All right. Let's pull for Gemini. Gemini. You are actually sitting right in that 8th house. Gemini, you are experiencing this Plutonic energy. Gemini in the 8th house. Okay. So everything that I've been talking about, right? This is coming to the forefront for you. Very loud, very clear. Okay. 1 second. I gotta make sure that I'm plugged in. Thank you for being patient with me. I'm just connecting here to my charger. I actually missed my last live because I had some tech issues. I had to go get my laptop all fixed up. So Gemini, you could be really exploring your sexuality. You could be really craving like that real authentic intimacy, right? The 8th house we talked about is all about intimacy, sex, our primalistic needs, our kinks, right? And another really big one for you, Gemini, is looking at the types of partners that you have attracted into your life and maybe why, right? Because the 8th house is also about psychology. So, therapy could be really beneficial for you to kind of look back at past partnerships, maybe your parents' relationships, seeing maybe some karmic cycles there, seeing some patterns. What are you attracted to? What are you maybe moving away from? You might be finding that what you're attracted to is changing, right? But intimate connections are at the forefront for you at this time. And another thing with this 8th house, Gemini, is that you could be, again, motivated to help heal others or help others. Because the 8th house does talk about, death. And in that process, there's a lot of grieving, right? So allowing space to grieve, allowing space to mourn, and maybe even helping others. Okay. Let's see for Gemini. Let's pull some cards for you. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus signs. Gemini. What do we have for Gemini collective, please, for this Pluto direct? Gemini. Here's your energy. 8 of Swords. Gemini. Pluto direct. What do we have for Gemini at this time? What do we have for Gemini? Ooh. Knight of Swords on the bottom of the deck. A lot of your energy is showing up here. So Knight of Swords in reverse. This is feeling a bit stagnant, right? Like wanting movement, but feeling like there's a lot of like stalemates, or there's a lot of like red lights. Like there's something that's always kind of getting in the way of this movement with the Knight of Swords in reverse. But also here, it is suggesting, Gemini, that you might need to be slowing down a bit at this time, right? Knight of Swords can be Gemini energy. It's looking like for you to gain some perspective here with the Hierophant in reverse. And that's, again, that like 9th house influence, higher levels of spiritual awareness, insight. It takes you slowing down a bit, getting out of your own way with the 8 of Swords here. It's a lot of mental energy, anxiety, worry, fear. And again, with this 8th house, this is the 8 of Swords. So again, the 8th house, very significant for you. You need to be able, like at this mirror, you need to be able to look at those parts of you, because again, it's still a part of you, right? Don't be ashamed of the anxiety, the worry, the fear. Give it space to breathe. Give yourself space to grieve, mourn, but don't get yourself too wrapped up in this identity, is what I'm hearing, because you can see how she can observe from outside of the experience. It's almost like watching a movie, right? You can watch it as it moves by on the screen, these feelings, these thoughts, these sensations. But just as you watch them, allow them to move, right? So you don't stay stuck for too long in this 8 of Swords, right? Because the worry, the fear will only manifest into more, right? I'm hearing for you, Gemini, it's going to be a lot about not fighting upstream, right? And again, facing your fears here with the 8 of Swords, really facing yourself, taking a good long look in the mirror here. And again, giving yourself space to unbind yourself, right? Because the 8 of Swords is a self-container. You create this for yourself, and you can easily free yourself. But I think for you, it's like getting out of the head, stepping more into the heart, especially with this 4 of Cups energy. We were just talking about this for Taurus. It's like there is this potential here. It's right there, right? I feel like it's right on the outside of this energy. And again, both of these cards we do them to ourselves. This is not like external forces. This is very much self-reflection time for you, Gemini. It's a mentality. I feel like it's a belief system that maybe, or a way of thinking that you've been holding on to for quite some time. And Plutonic energy is shaking and stirring things up. Again, that tension that's been living and festering below the surface. It's really going to be seen and at the forefront for you. Okay. Cancer. All right. 7th house, Cancer. Pluto's in your 7th house, which is all about partnerships, right? It's all about how we relate to others. For you, Cancer, this is a very transformational time. within your relationships, right? And this is friends, this is family, this is not just intimate partnerships. Discovering your power in and out of relationships, right? Healing codependency. This is definitely a theme for the collective right now because this Aries North node and the Libra South node, we're facing a lot of the shadow aspects of Libra, which can be like getting into a relationship for all the wrong reasons, right? This fear, this lack story that we tell ourselves. So you're really breaking ground here when it comes to relationships, especially with the 7th house being highlighted for you. You could be really, you could be triggered by relationships at this time, but those triggers are gateways. They're gatekeepers into maybe past karma or past trauma that you've experienced. And it's allowing you to see, okay, what's going on inside of me right now? Why am I triggered by that? Again, a deep dive. And relationships right now for you cancers out there I'm reading for are going to be catalysts for your growth. So you might actually find some new friends, new people that are just inspiring you in some way. Allowing you to dig into those triggers to see maybe your weaknesses, your flaws, your shadow. But finding relationships that don't neglect those parts of you, right? They want to see all of it, right? And they love all of it. All right, Cancer. Let's see for you, Cancer. Let's pull some cards. Cancer. What does this Plutonic energy have for Cancer? This Pluto going direct. What do we have for Cancer? Justice. There's that Libra energy, which is 7th house. Cancer. What do we have for Cancer at this time? With Pluto stationing direct, what do we have for Cancer? Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus signs. Cancer. 4 of Wands in reverse with the King of Cups on the bottom. King of Cups. That could be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Ace of Swords. Ooh, beautiful. Again, I'm seeing that you are attracting relationships that, again, are inspiring, thought-provoking, inspirational, right? The catalyst for your growth. This is, again, friendships, intimate partnerships. They're really opening you up, right? Look at this, opening you up, opening the mind, loving deeper, right? King of Cups. You might actually be with a King of Cups, right? But this could be your energy as well. But I'm seeing a lot of balance here. Justice card. Balance being restored for you, Cancer. This is happening here with this Libra solar eclipse on the 14th. Libra rules this card in the major arcana. So that date might be very significant for you. There could be some epiphanies. But again, it could be justice, right? Like communication I'm seeing here with the Ace of Swords. Maybe communication from a King of Cups. That's really opening you up. Expanding your view. Allowing you to see more clearly. Justice card. Allowing you to see more clearly potentially here with the 4 of Wands around because the 4 of Wands does represent the 4th house for me in some way. And I feel like it's about our stability, our roots. And interestingly enough, the 4th house, Libra, is being affected with this Pluto direct with their 4th house. And we have Libra energy. So you might be dealing with a Libra or have Libra in your chart. But with the 4 of Wands, I actually want to clarify this. What is this 4 of Wands for Cancer? What is this 4 of Wands? 4 of Wands for Cancer. What is this 4 of Wands, please? Ooh, abundance. So it did come out in reverse. So I want to say that this 4 of Wands is a very abundant energy, right? It's celebration. It's feeling grounded, right? Stable within your relationships, celebrating them, right? Rejoicing in the good times, right? It is you, I think, getting out of maybe a lack mentality here, knowing that you are a limitless being and you can manifest whatever you desire in the physical reality. So maybe you felt like bound to some sort of home with the Four of Wands. This can represent like home, fourth house. And now you're kind of breaking free from something, understanding that like attracts like is what I'm hearing. Also, again, the laws of manifestation, a growth mindset, feeling abundant. Again, attracting relationships that are abundant in nature. For you, Cancer, I would suggest like looking up affirmations. Maybe you don't know much about the laws of attraction, but studying abundance, right? And how can you get into that mindset, right? How can you foster that abundance is what I'm hearing. All right. Leo, Leo, we have Pluto in the 6th house for you. When I think of the 6th house, it's about our duties, right? Our responsibilities. You could be laser focused on your responsibilities at this time, hyper focused. I also think of the 6th house. It's kind of like the 10th house. It's the work house. It's about our purpose. So getting very clear and hyper focused on what you feel you are responsible to do here on this earth, right? Getting connected with your purpose, staying in alignment, right? In your daily rhythms, your routines, creating a plan, right? With that 6th house energy. This also talks about health. So again, there's a lot of self-improvement, working out, right? Taking care of yourself, getting a lot of rest. But there is this emphasis for you, Leo, on self with the 6th house. There's a sense of duty and responsibility to take care of yourself. Maybe you've been avoiding an aspect of your life, right? It's becoming very clear with Pluto going direct. And now it's like you can see more clearly the road ahead, right? And now you're really starting to plan and make plans for yourself, nobody else, right, Leo? And again, this could be different for everyone. If you are married or if you're in a relationship, there still is this focus on self. And so you can be in a relationship and still really just take more time, right, to nurture what it is that you're here to do, right, your purpose. And again, finding that work-play balance is what I'm hearing for you, Leo. But the 6th house is definitely going to get you working, get you in more of an alignment with what's going to be healthy for you. Because again, the 6th house does govern health. All right. Leo, let's pull some cards for you, Leo. Let's see what Pluto direct has for you at this time. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus signs. Leo, what do we have for Leo? Leo, Pluto direct for Leo. What do we have for Leo? Okay, we have 3 of Cups on the bottom of the deck here. Right, so 3 of Cups, 6 of Cups in reverse, Page of Wands in reverse, and the Page of Pentacles. All right, Leo, so we have the 6 of Pentacles here too with the 3 of Cups. So I am sensing for you, again, with this 6th house influence, with the 6 of Pentacles, I'm seeing like that work, play balance, right? Finding more harmony in your day-to-day rhythms. So you don't feel like you're getting off track from, again, your sense of duty, responsibility here, right? Getting more connected in with people, 3 of Cups, that are going to be in alignment with your purpose. Your skill is what I'm hearing. And again, relationships here, because this 3 of Cups is about relationships. You see these 3 people standing together, that it's going to be balance, right? Reciprocity. Dealing with people that are not just going to take, right? I see a lot of reciprocity. Maybe this is something that you're coming into awareness about. The people, places, and things that are not giving, and you're getting in more alignment with what is going to give, right? Give back, right? This flow here with the 6 of Pentacles. And I think you're getting a hard assessment with the 6 of Cups here in reverse of past relationships that maybe were one-sided, right? The 6 of Cups in reverse can be a bit nostalgic, going down memory lane. You could be looking back at, your relationship to your parents, old high school friends, right? Old relationships. When I say old, it could be literally the last person you broke up with, right? It just could be someone that's in your past, right? With the 6 of Cups here. And you're in this reminiscent energy. But Pluto going direct is going to ask you to start focusing in on, again, the people, places, and things that are going to give. You have 2 6s here, so it is a lot about balance. And the 2 6s are reflected in that 6th house influence. Interesting. We have the Page of Pentacles with the Page of Wands in reverse. The Page of Wands in reverse is, I think for you, Leo, this is getting really clear about your passions, right? Because Wand energy is all about passion. It's fire energy. It's what ignites you. Pages in general. You have 2 pages here. It's a bit more, I would say, of a slow start, right? It's not king energy. It's small. It's simple. I think for you, it's about taking the daily steps with that 6th house influence to get in alignment. But I do see money, potential money coming in for you. Page of Pentacles here. The pentacle representing money. But it's taking you getting in alignment with what is your passion here. Page of Wands in reverse. You might be dealing with an earth sign or a fire sign. All right, Leo, let's pull a Soul's Journey Oracle for you. What do we have for Leo? The Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus sign for this Pluto direct energy. Leo. Worry. Okay. We got the worry card here. I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. And we have envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. You also got the surrender card, which is very much about this Plutonic energy, right? Releasing the need to control, right? You're letting go of maybe envy. Maybe you're looking back at past relationships with a little bit of like envy or jealousy or bitterness is what I'm feeling for you, Leo. And you're understanding that everyone has their own journey here. And you're being asked to forgive, right? 6 of Cups in reverse is, again, maybe harboring some resentment. You got to release some of this worry around the past, maybe past choices that you have made, because you're learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. Because if you're worrying, right, this Page of Wands, we need this to be upright, right? Being inspired, right? The Page of Wands does not sit and worry. They take action, right? You might be feeling a bit stagnant or stuck, right? But I do feel like Pluto's going direct October 10th. I feel like there's going to be a lot of movement. And hopefully that Page of Wands can be upright, right? But it's going to be, again, aligning with your purpose and your passions. All right, Leo. Let's move on to Virgo. Virgo, sun, moon, rising, and or Venus signs. Virgo, Pluto going direct is going to be influencing your 5th house. Virgo, the 5th house. This could be a very creative time for you. Very creative energy. 5th house is all about creativity. It's the arts, right? It's music. It's how we express ourselves. It's connecting in with our heart, right? It's Leo's energy, so it's very much heart-centered. Getting in tune with your passions, taking on a creative project, a hobby. It's going to be highly influential for you. Maybe you've been feeling during this Pluto retrograde, oh, I can't do that. Maybe beating yourself up, that, limiting beliefs. I'm getting a message from your last reading you had. I think it was for September or October, but it's being a bit more mischievous, right? Taking risks. I think for you, maybe opening up to some sort of creative idea you have could be very fruitful at this time, Virgo. It also could be a good time, again, if there isn't some sort of hobby, right, or creative endeavor that you're wanting to take on, just movement and dance could be very helpful for you to maybe get through some of these stuck energies. It also talks about children, the 5th house. So your family could be playing a very influential role at this time, working with children. It also is the house of creation. So you might be thinking about having a child, Virgo. This could be at the forefront for you. Thinking about what you want your future to look like. Do you want another child? I don't know why I said that, but maybe you have a child already. Do you want another child? Do you want a child, right? All right, Virgo, let's pull some cards for you. Might be also confronting some family issues, right? Outside of maybe your own family. If you do have children or you're married, this could be like your parents, your aunts, your uncles. All right, Virgo, sun, moon, rising, and or Venus signs. What does this Pluto energy have for Virgo? Virgo, what do we have for Virgo? Okay. You got some emotions there, huh, Virgo? The moon. 3 of Cups is showing up here. The moon card in reverse, though. Again, that is that movement, right? Pluto going direct is all about movement. For you, I feel like there has been this built up tension. And with Pluto retrograde, we talked about that in the beginning of the reading, right? Retrogrades serve a purpose, right? There's a reason why planets go retrograde. And one of them is because I talked about this in the beginning, is that if we were consistently moving and changing directions and changing course without really thinking, being more impulsive, we need this time to reflect. We need a bit of that built up tension. And we also need to be able to reflect and question things and ponder why we feel the way we feel, right? So the last several months with Pluto retrograde, I feel like you've been in this moon energy, right? Sorting out some deep emotions. And I feel like a lot around confidence for you. We have the 5 of Cups here. This is a very reflective space. But I love that the King of Cups is next to this, because again, I feel like you've been in this this place of like grieving, right? Looking at your heart, feeling into maybe some loss. And this person here, if you can see, it's like letting it all go down the drain. I'm getting a reminder of like shower ritual. I don't know if you've heard of that before, but like taking a shower and just imagining the water like cleansing you and stripping away any of that negativity. You can look into that. But I do see you allowing things, right? Surrender. That's a lot with this Plutonic energy, is surrendering the need to control. And as you do that, you open up, right? Really opening up to your emotions. King of Cups here. I want to actually pull from the Soul's Journey Oracle here. Let's see. What's this King of Cups about? Beautiful energy. You might be dealing, Virgo, with a water sign. And I see that being a very positive connection for you if you are dealing with a King of Cups. I see you really moving out of this Five of Cups, this moon energy, facing your emotions, facing your shadow. A deep dive here in your emotions. Beautiful. All right, let's see here. What's this King of Cups for Virgo? What is this King of Cups for Virgo? Please show me what I need to see for Virgo. Ooh, love. Okay. Imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. We talked about this fifth house, right? It's a very creative place for you. So it is about imagining the possibilities. And again, there is always a need to mourn, to grieve, to make space for grief, especially with this Plutonic 8th house energy. It is about death, right? It's about judgment. It's about pondering things and really facing them. And again, I talked about it feeling like it can be a smack in the face sometimes when we're confronted with these things, but it serves its purpose, is what I'm hearing here, because we get closer to ourselves, we get closer to our shadow, we get closer to all those parts of us, instead of, again, allowing them to stay stagnant below the surface in this moon energy. The moon energy is significant, right? It's a significant part of the major arcana. And we all need to go through these phases, right? The phases of the moon, waxing and waning, honoring all parts of yourself. But again, there's a lot of imagination, creating new neural, right? Magnetizing this love, getting creative. And I think that friends are also going to be helping you during. I think that friends are also going to be helping you during the relationships. That it's very significant for all house right now, right? Right? This judgment that we sometimes put on ourselves that we don't need to. This talks about all things hidden within the home. The fourth house also emotions around might be honoring your ancestors in some way, connecting with family. Look at that, Three of Cups, Ace of Wands. Yes, I feel like your ancestors play a significant role for your growth at this time. So maybe calling them in to help you and assist you. Because Libras, you're definitely going to be feeling the impacts, right? We have this solar Ace of Wands I saw there. And again, having that support system, Three of Cups, friends and family around, people that you can be vulnerable with, right? The eighth house can be a very vulnerable space. And finding those relationships, those close friends, those close partnerships that can allow you to be you. All right, Libra. Let's look into this. Homes, you might be moving, relocating. But a lot of this healing, any sort of guilt or resentment, even around family. All right, Libra, what do we have for Libra signs? The Queen of Pentacles is here in reverse, so I do see the like uprooting here, the roots here on her head. And it's earth energy, it's a spot queen. But I feel like maybe you might be feeling a bit unstable, right, with this queen. Again, shaking things up, getting out of the ego a bit, out of our safety, out of our security. It's very essential. Yes. Five of Pentacles on the bottom here. The World. You are wrapping up some major cycles. Because again, there's the Aries North Node, Libra South Node. So major cycle for you that you're into, right? As of July, we entered into this cycle, and we're going to be experiencing it over the next year and a half. So just know that this October is just the intentional month. We're casting out our intentions. We're being observant. We're witnessing changes that are happening around us, and we're not necessarily fighting or trying to control. There is a little bit about money from a financial blow or hit. But for some reason, I feel like it's benefiting you. Yeah, death, rebirth. Maybe you are being realigned in a different, for some of but the Five of Pentacles again it's like a victimized mentality. There's this light here. This person could easily go into this room, and there's support offered in the Five of Pentacles, but it's kind of like the Four of Cups. It's like you feel complacent, or you're just wounded in some way. It is in reverse, so I'm feeling like, again, you're letting more people in, asking for help, maybe pulling on your support systems to help you get out of this Five of Pentacles. But this is also healing that lack mentality, right? The Five of Pentacles is a lack mentality of not feeling good enough. But you are, right? And this is a cycle maybe that you're wrapping up. It also is suggesting here, Libra, that you are wrapping up relationships that are just based off money. Again, material wealth. That lack mentality here in that Five of Pentacles. Codependency is something also in that Libra South node that we are healing as a collective. Like staying in relationships for the wrong reasons or just one reason, right? And the Temperance here, it's asking for balance. And it's also suggesting for you patience and time, Libra. I think this is going to take you some time. Again, October is just the doorway. Okay? So take your time. Understand that abundance is a mentality. It really is. Yeah, Sun card. All right, Scorpio. We're going to move on into Scorpio. Can feel very familiar for you, Scorpio. Direct is going to be in your third house. There's a lot around question things. It's a research house. It's in things, information. It's how we process information. And also for you, Scorpio, it's about how are you letting, being a free thinker, we are stepping beyond the veil. What is true to you? And this mental space is going to be activated for you. You could be having some really deep thoughts. Listen to them. Write them down is what I'm hearing. All right, Scorpio, let's pull some cards for you for this Pluto direct energy. What is it that Scorpio needs to know? What is it that Scorpio needs to see and hear at this time? Scorpio. King of Swords. Gemini rules the third house. You might be dealing with a Gemini. Oh, lots of mental space. Five of Swords here. Not surprising to see that with that third house influence. It's going to be important for you, but it's also about sorting out those thoughts, right? Freeing yourself. You see this person is like burdened by their thoughts. There's expressing yourself, communicating is going to be important, but I also think that you're going to recluse, take some space with the King of Swords in reverse. There's a lot of power in the silence is what I'm hearing for you, Scorpio. Because the Five of Swords can also be a very tit for tat. What is true to you? And the Five, again, what is true to you? And the Five of Swords is about like wanting to battle it out, right? Winning at all costs. But yeah, don't play with the devil. Yeah, free yourself from other people's limited beliefs. And there's a lot of power in silence, right, Scorpio. Let's pull a soul. Scorpio. What do we have for Scorpio for this? What do we have for Scorpio? Scorpio. Doubt. Imagination. Yes. The doubt card is saying, I really need to know all the answers. Oh, interesting. So as you are on this journey to seeking your truth, right? The third house, again, is about gaining insight, knowledge, awareness. There could be a part of you, again, that's festering and needing to know right now. And that's what Five of Swords is about. And it's actually weighing very heavily on you. And you don't need to know all the answers. There's a lot of mystery right here for you. And I think there's a lot more power in this. All right, Scorpio. Let's see what Sagittarius. This Pluto going direct. Pluto's going to be in your second. I need to, there could be a need for you. You have felt like this kind of need to hold on to my money, my resources, clinging on to money. Maybe there's a little bit of like control. Okay, that's a big lesson for all signs. Not being too stingy with your money. Ace of Pentacles. Right, I'm getting the Six of Pentacles energy. So money comes to what you have, material possessions. You might be learning that lesson right now, Sagittarius. There's also about enjoyment, see Four of Pentacles energy, like holding on, being a bit more frugal, feeling like you don't have enough. Four of Wands, because the Four of Wands is a very abundant energy. Some change, but it looks like being very strategic, having a plan when it comes to uses. But there is going to be a little bit of letting go of this like rigidness around material. Yeah, that's showing up again. Opening up. I keep hearing it. Money comes and money goes, Sag. Don't become too stingy. You could be learning that lesson right now again. All right, Sagittarius. Open up to sharing your resources too. I feel like the more that you share. All right, Sag. What do we have for Sagittarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus signs. Sagittarius. Sag. What do we have for Sagittarius at this time? Yes. Ooh, totally. Money comes and money goes. Look at the Four of Pentacles on the bottom again. I can't. Yeah, that energy is very strong for you. The wheel. Beautiful. The wheel is turning. I just heard the wheel in the sky keeps on turning. So you might be feeling as though there could be some loss of money at this time. You might be feeling like there's something that's out of your control, but just know, Sag, if that is your story, that there is something new coming in for you. We saw the Ace of Pentacles on the wheels here. So this is about fate, destiny. There's movement. Yes, there's definitely positive change with the wheel. Also attached the Star card energy. I have a bit of lag here. I feel like my video is lagging. I hope it isn't lagging for you, Sag. So the Star card, yeah, it's a sense of renewal. There's a lot of power here. I feel like it's like letting go again of this need to control or hold on to something. It doesn't have to just be money, but there is this influence of the second house, right? I feel like you're letting go of these ideas around scarcity mindset. I feel like I'm lagging here. Let's see. Sorry, friends. Trying to see what's going on with the lag because I see myself lagging. I might need to restart this video to do the rest of the signs.